Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on narrative essay writing, and we are going to examine the steps in writing a good narrative essay. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video is uploaded on the channel, you will be notified instantly. Now let's dive into the lesson right away. Now, what is a narrative essay? A narrative essay is a storytelling kind of essay. Is an essay that tells a story. Of course, it tells a story about your experience, which could be fictional or factual. A narrative essay tells a story which could be based on real life experience, or it could be based on an imaginary event, something you just invented as a product of your imagination. Now, for example, you can write a narrative essay on the topic, an accident I have watched, and this is exactly a topic we are going to solve from 2017 Basic Education Certificate Examination. Then you could write a narrative essay on the topic, a day I will never forget, or how I spent my last holiday, and so on and so forth. Now, planning is a very important aspect of essay writing. Before you write an essay, you need to plan the essay, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, as the saying goes. If you want to build a house, you must first come up with a building plan. So if you want to write a good essay, you must come out with a writing plan. Now, the first thing you do is to think about the essay topic. In an English exam, you are usually given the topic to write on. So what you need to do is to think about that essay topic and begin to generate the ideas or the key points you want to discuss or you want to write. Now, the second thing you should do is to identify the experience or the incident you want to narrate. It's always ideal to base your story or your narrative essay on a real life experience. If you can remember an incident you witnessed in real life, or you may not have personally witnessed it, but you heard someone talk about it, someone shared such an experience with you, that could be material for a good essay. It could be something you read about on the pages of newspapers or magazines. It could be something you watched on television, the home video, or even on the internet. All right. So these are, you know, the sources from which you can actually identify the incident you want to use for your story. Now, if you don't have any real life incident to narrate, then of course you have to invent one from your imagination. So you invent it. I'm going to show you the one I invented, which I want to use as a sample to show you how to write a narrative essay on a similar topic. Now, once you have identified the event, the incident, or you have invented it, you have just figured it out in your mind, the next thing is to create an outline, which for story writing we call pre-writing notes. All right. Whenever I teach my students essay writing, I emphasize the need for creating an outline. An outline is simply a list of the key points you jot down that you are going to use in writing your essay. Now, in writing a narrative essay, it is important you use 5 basic elements to try to prepare your pre-writing notes. Number 1, the setting. the setting refers to the place and time of the incidents in the story. If you tell someone a story about an accident you have watched, one of the natural questions they will ask you is, where did it happen and when did it happen? So if you include these two things in your essay, it makes it more credible, all right? Now, the next thing is characters, talking about the persons involved in the incident you are narrating. Is very important. Every good story relates a human experience, and then you need to actually figure out the characters involved in the story so that as you write, then your writing will flow. Now, writing a narrative essay on the topic that we have mentioned, an accident I have watched, is a story in which you are the principal character because it happened to you. You know, I mean, it may not have happened to you. You are not involved in the accident, but you watched it. So it's your personal experience. And so you are the narrator and you are part of the story because you were there when it happened. All right, so that is exactly. Then other characters could include people traveling with you if you are on a journey when you witnessed it. And then, of course, the people involved directly in that accident are also among the characters. The driver, you know, of the accident vehicle is one of them. Now, having figured out the characters for your story, the next thing is the plot. A plot is the arrangement of events in a story. So you have to plan how the plot of your essay should be. There are two basic types of plots. You have a linear plot, which is the simple, straightforward storyline. You tell your story from the beginning and then to the middle and to the end, and it just begins where the incident started naturally. So that is a linear plot. It tells a story in a chronological order of events, and so in a straightforward line. But then this is the kind of plot that is ideal for writing a simple narrative essay, such as the one we are talking about. Now, when you look at the second type of plot, which is called an episodic plot, which is more complex, of course, it's ideal for writing a novel or a short story of a reasonable length. So an episodic plot can begin to tell the story from the end or from the middle using flashbacks. But here we are concerned with a simple linear plot that tells the story in a very simple and straightforward manner. Now, the fourth element you must consider is the conflict. What is the problem? What actually is the problem that has confronted the main character? Of course, in an essay on the topic we have mentioned, of course, it has to do with the accident, all right? Now, conflict is part of life, and a conflict is what drives the plot of every story. Because when the central character is confronted with a serious problem or is in a dilemma or predicament, then it increases the suspense or the curiosity of the reader or the audience, who would want to know how this problem is going to be resolved. So that increases people's interest in a story, because every conflict that confronts a human being invokes emotions from another human being. So conflicts makes a reader or an audience to be emotionally involved in the story, as it invokes some feelings in them and they want to know what is going to happen to this character. So include some conflict, all right, in a story, and you make it more interesting. Now, the fifth element is the theme. The theme is this main idea expressed in a story, And it is important you include some theme, because nobody wants to waste his or her time reading a story that is not going to teach them any good lesson about life. So the theme of the story is about the lesson the story teaches the reader about life. And this is really very important. Now, once you have figured out this, the next thing is to begin to write the story. And after writing the story, then you proofread. Now, that is the simple process. But let's look at the structure. You know, every piece of writing has a definite structure, and your story must have this kind of structure. Number one, it must have a title or the heading. For this particular this particular essay we are talking about, you are already given a topic, and that is an accident I have watched. That is the topic or the heading or the title, if you like. Then the second feature, which is part of the structure of this essay, is the introduction. That is the first paragraph. For a story, we call it the beginning, then followed by the body of the essay, which in a story we call the middle. Then the last part is the conclusion, which in a story we call the ending. So a narrative essay should have a title or heading, a beginning, a middle, and an ending. And that is the structure of the story. All right, so now I want to show you the past exam question that we actually want to use for this particular class. And that is Lagos State Basic Education Certificates of 2017, Theory Section A, which is essay. Now, the instruction is as follows. I want you to look at the instruction. All right. And answer only one question from this section. Your answer should be about 200 words. And then question number 1A, write a letter to your friend in another school telling him or her about your new English studies teacher, giving at least 3 reasons why you like him or her. This is a letter writing question, and that is not what we are going to concern ourselves with today. It's a topic for another day. And of course, we have had a previous lesson in which we discussed letter writing. Now, or question number 1B, which is an accident I have watched. That is writing an essay or a composition on the topic, an accident I have watched. And that is exactly what we are going to do. Okay, so let's now dive, this is the sample essay, and I want us to really look at it. Now, this is the title, An Accident I Have Watched. Okay, so an accident I have watched. Okay, so this is the beginning. Of course, that's the first paragraph, and it is always important you include the people, the place, and the time of the incident. You introduce these key elements and also some aspect of the theme that will show your reader why it is important, why this story is important in the first place. There's something in it for them to learn. Now let's look at this first part. On 20th December 2019, I witnessed an accident which keeps reminding me about the dangers of driving under the influence of alcohol. I was traveling from Lagos to Enugu for a short holiday. My uncle was driving and I was in the car with his wife and their 2 children. I was excited about the opportunity to meet my mother and siblings at home after close to 3 years. The car stereo was playing a piece of gospel music, which increased my joy and excitement. So when writing a narrative essay or a story, it's important you include certain things that will make the incident look like real life experience, all right? Now, the middle of the narrative essay begins from paragraph 2, and so this is the continuation. When a Toyota commuter bus overtook us at a great speed, my uncle called it dangerous overtaking. Shortly after that, we noticed that the bus was overtaking a lorry in front of us. All right, so let's include in front of us a lorry, okay, in front of us, okay. Okay. Then, of course, this is the third paragraph. All of a sudden, we saw that the lorry had gone off the road and plunged into the bush on the right side of the road. My uncle managed to slow down, and when we arrived at the scene, we were shocked to find the speeding Toyota commuter in a head-on collision with an oncoming luxury bus on the left side of the Shagamu or expressway. You see, we have given a definite location here that increases the credibility of the story. We are saying that this thing happened along the Shagamu or expressway, and the readers who actually know that that is a real place can actually relate with the story. Then we go to the next paragraph. My uncle parked the car and ran to join the crowd of people that had already gathered there, or we can say that had already started gathering since the that had already started gathering there. Okay. So that's great. Now let's continue. The rest of us came out of the car, all right, because you see, came out of the car, you were traveling, came out of the car, okay. The rest of us came out of the car and stood at a safe distance, watching the men that were battling to put out the fire that had started in the Toyota commuter bus. When they managed to stop the fire with a fire extinguisher taken from a good Samaritan, some of the passengers were already, had already, so we have to, this is a typo here. Okay, so let me take it again. When they managed to stop the fire with a fire extinguisher taken from a good Samaritan, some of the passengers had already sustained various degrees of injury. The driver was lying dead beside the bus. The bodies of 2 women and a young boy were also brought out after the bus door was forced open. Although none of the luxury bus drivers died, a number of them were injured. All right, so you have given a clear picture of the thing that happened. Okay, So the next thing now is, we are getting towards the end of the story. My uncle revealed to us later. All right, you can include later here. Or my uncle later revealed to us, you can include later here and remove it from here. My uncle later revealed to us that several bottles of hot drinks were sighted on the dashboard. Were sighted on the dashboard of the Toyota commuter bus. This was an indication that the bus driver must have been driving under the influence of alcohol. You have to connect this because at the beginning you hinted at, the cause of the accident, that the driver, must have been driving under the influence of alcohol. And that's a major lesson that one can learn. So now this is the last paragraph. I felt so sad about the lives that were lost and the people that sustained injury in the accident. You can include, I learned that it is really dangerous to drink alcohol while driving. Okay, so this is how to write a story of this nature and make it really interesting. All right, so that is how it has been in today's lesson. I hope you have actually learned the lessons that are in this particular video. We have been looking at narrative essay writing, the steps in writing a good narrative essay. If you actually enjoyed today's video, make sure you like the video and share it with your friends and relations. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, this is the appropriate time for you to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon as well, so that when next a new video goes live on this channel, you'll be instantly notified. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being part of today's episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye for now and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video.